Hello,
Hello.
we're down in New Zealand.
Yes, we're going to find a hobbit or two.
Yes, and shoot them in the fucking face.
I want to mount one of their feet on the wall.
Yeah, we could show it
Don't
off
like feet, but it's perfect excuse
to all our friends.
if we had any. Anyway, so before we started recording, we were having a little conversation when we grouped up, and we got onto the topic of extras, didn't we, Ben?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we decided we'd hold off on that topic because it was prime quality entertainment that you'd definitely want to hear.
Oh,
So,
definitely
how much
so.
do you know about extras, Ben?
It's about a character played by Ricky Gervais and his lady friend, and they are extras trying to make it big, and they meet lots of different celebrities who, as you said, play basically caricatures of themselves.
That's right. And a few come to mind. So obviously there was David Bowie, which was the start of the conversation,
Yeah.
who sings a mean song about the character that Ricky Gervais plays.
Mm,
Refers to him as a sad little fat man
yes.
in a supposedly improvised song.
Yes. And I,
There's also
I
sorry, go.
mentioned I mentioned how that I like that idea that you meet your hero and they take an instant dislike to you.
Yeah, I mean it would be devastating, wouldn't it?
Well,
And
yeah,
at the same time, quite funny.
it's a good idea from a terrible person.
There was also Daniel Radcliffe, who played well as he was a teenager at the time. He played a
Someone
very randy teenager.
desperate to fuck Diana Rigg, if I recall.
No, he didn't want to fuck her, but he was messing around with a condom, and it pinged off and landed on her, and he had to ask her politely for it back.
Uh,
Please, may I have my prophylactic back,
uh.
Lady Diana, or something like that, or Mrs.
Oh
Rigg.
shit! I think I hit it. I think I hit it. I didn't think I did.
There was Patrick Stewart,
Yes.
who is trying to peddle a script he's written, and the premise is that he's a James Bond esque character,
Mm.
um, who every time he's rescuing these women who are in these very compromising positions, and their clothes keep falling off because they've been held prisoner for so long, and because they've been without a touch of another person, they're so intimate with each other. And he's trying to fly the helicopter, but there's a little mirror there, and he's looking, and they're trying to cover up, but it's too late because he's already seen everything. And it's just that little, but I've already seen everything. Keeps coming up like
Uh,
3-4 times.
I
So
I
it's
remember
a
there
little
was
funny.
I think Ronnie Corbett was in that, and just a throwaway joke where he comes out of a toilet cubicle having done a line of coke. And
Yes. Yep.
I have a soft spot. That was a terrible shot. I have a soft spot for jokes about older, established British cultural icons doing hard drugs. In the last episode of Inside Number Nine, um, Anne Reed, who was in the first episode, she pops up and does a line of coke in a bathroom stall. I've
Mm.
always such a simple joke, but I do like it.
They get kicked out of the BAFTAs because of it.
Hmm.
You get Stephen Merchant and Ronnie Corbett trying to have literally short and tall,
Little and
right?
large, yeah.
Just ridiculously outspaced people in a cubicle trying to do coke, and they the people who are running the event know what Corbett's like. They've given him many a warning before, so
Just that line. They know what Corbett's like. It's like you want to watch. That's
um,
funny to me.
so they all get kicked out. And another one which I remembered is I've forgotten her name, Kate Winslet,
Oh, I should do a
who
Holocaust movie because you get a BAFTA or you get an
and,
Oscar. The surefire
and
Oscar
then
winner.
and then didn't she do a Holocaust
She
movie
did, and many
and didn't
references.
she?
And won an Oscar.
Well, so it's fucking works, doesn't it?
Mm.
But no, it's a brilliant. I enjoy it as a
Mm. I think the fact I
it's a
don't
show I've
like,
not seen in
yeah,
a while.
the fact I don't like Ricky Gervais just sort of puts me off.
I mean, the trouble is, all of his characters are basically him, right?
Mm.
Apart from Derek. Derek's not very him.
We should mention at this point. I know we're not going to talk about it in depth yet, but it is the election today.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't know where. Do our predictions and just talk about who we voted for?
Ah, I mean, if you want,
I mean, we might as well.
I know you're quite keen to.
Well, the exit poll's not out yet, but we'll just quickly
Is
touch.
the awkward thing we've got here is that the exit poll isn't out yet, which means that any opinion that we have is based on what we've seen in the news or our own genuine opinion,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But it's
which
not.
is
It's based on
fine.
previous polling data, not on the day polling data. And also, this isn't going out until 3 days after the vote has happened. So
No, this is
we, c-
well, yeah.
us telling you it's before that means
Oh,
literally
it's
nothing.
yes, it's completely pointless. It's our live election special that is going out days after the election. I mean, we're going to stop
But
talking about the election the Sunday after the election, and we
yeah,
still
and
won't
not
have
only
all the
that,
information at that
we're
point.
we're, we're not we're not get you're not going to get our live reactions to the exit poll until a week after the election.
Yeah,
So
Mr.
you know
Bread.
we.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I voted for the Green Party. Who did you vote for?
I voted Labour.
Did you?
I did, and I voted Labour for one specific reason.
The Lib Dems keep annoying you with texts.
I know I've just muted the conversation. Um, look, I support the Lib Dems, right?
Mm,
But I am very aware that in this particular seat, if there's any chance of getting rid of the Tory incumbent,
mm.
it is Labour, and every fucking vote counts
Uh,
because he's a wily bastard.
he's a twat.
I would regret knowing that it was tight and I could have helped contribute to making it not so.
I don't
At the very
like
least, I want him to be shit up. You know,
I don't like tactical voting. I think
I
it
don't. I swore I'd
I
never do
think
it
it,
again after last time.
I think it goes against the very nature, the very point of an election.
Hmm.
It's an opinion poll, and you are essentially lying to essentially manipulate the outcome to your, you know, not massive liking, but you know what I mean. Anyway,
But the way I see it,
yeah,
and it's important, this, and I'm not. If they, as people are supposedly reporting, if there's going to be such a vast majority for Labour,
mm,
then my individual vote in this particular seat is irrelevant. It's not gonna. It's not the difference between a hung election and a majority, is it?
mm.
It's the difference between whether that one man has his job or not.
Well,
I am doing it because I dislike that one man so fucking much.
I think that's all yours if you want it.
Can't see the damn thing.
I think in that particular seat, Reform are going to do well, and I think Labour will do well. I think he'll keep his seat, but his majority will be slashed. I think that's a very basic reading, but I think that's true.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen two lots of polling data. I mean, the last general election, he had the safest seat in the country, and his vote share has increased every single fucking election
No.
since 1997 when the seat was instated.
Ugh.
He has been the only MP that this constituency has had in its current form. So, complacent much, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if anything's going to happen, I want him to lose the seat. I'm expecting him to keep it. I'm expecting him to be one of maybe about 100 Conservative MPs.
Yes, I think Labour are going to win with a
Yeah.
pretty substantial landslide. Reform, I think, will win a few seats.
I hope they don't win in Clacton.
I
At the
think-
very least, I hope he doesn't get the seat.
I think they'll win a few seats. I think the Green share will increase, but they won't win any seats. And I think the Lib Dems will do all right too.
See, I'm expecting Labour to get around about 425. Right, that's my current.
I think
425
they'll
for Labour.
get 424.
You just want to underdo these just in case.
Yes.
So if they get anything less than 425, you win. Is that your logic there?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, there were people talking about a supermajority, and I know that's a fucking bullshit term in this country because it doesn't mean anything. But
Well, if you have a big enough majority, you can sort of do what you want in this country.
well, yeah, but
I mean, you got to get
It's-
through
it's
the House of
more
Lords,
complicated.
but that's it's not a massive obstacle. It's not like America where you could get through the Supreme Court and both houses and all this stuff.
650. You take one off of a speaker, divide it by 3 times it by 2. So 432.
Mm.
So what? 433 seats
Mm.
is what would be a supermajority in this country. 66% of all the seats. I don't think they're going to get that. Like I say, I think they're going to get 425 or thereabouts.
Well, I think what's
Yeah.
interesting is I have not heard anybody enthused about Labour.
No, what you've
Just
heard
out-
is
just-
people
just out and about.
hating fucking the Tories, and that's it.
Yes.
No one likes Labour. We just know that they're the best alternative out of.
Well, they are.
They're the most likely people to win.
Yes, yes, they are the alternative. That's it. There's no. I mean, we'll probably talk about this a bit more later, but there's no hope in British politics anymore. There's no.
No.
Where's Clement Attlee? Where's the next David Lloyd George? Where are these figures? They don't exist. They can't exist. Our system destroys them before they even get started. It's disgusting. But yes, we will. I promise we'll make this short because I know you don't really want to get too deep into it. So yeah, we'll pick it up. We'll pick it up when the exit poll is announced at 10, just a little past 10, I think.
I think so. Yeah, they'll do a snap exit poll thing, and
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to be going on. I propose maybe we do your game second because my game is definitely going to be a we've got time to talk game. We don't have to concentrate on my game at all, do we?
Yeah. Okay. I'll see if I can find something.
Yeah. Anyway, I do have some more numbers for you before
Okay.
we move on. Because yeah, I'm thinking Labour about 425, Tories about 100, Lib Dems about 60 again.
Hmm.
I'm not sure where that leaves us, but realistically, I think you're probably right. Reform are probably going to get a few. I think the Greens might get as many.
I'd like them to win a. I'd like them to win two, but
Hmm.
I don't think they will. I think their vote share will go up, just because I think what we'll see is a mass exodus from the Tories, and that the Labour will benefit most from that. But I think all parties are going to see an increase in vote share.
Now, I did a I did a vote alignment thing the other night, just for the lads were doing one, so I thought I'd do one.
Are you a
Right.
fascist?
What it reckons is that
You didn't
I
say
should start
no.
my own political party, in which no, it says that based on my stances, and I'm not 100% sure if I was entirely accurate between agree and strongly agree, right?
Mm.
Like, I mean, I agree with what they're saying. I wouldn't necessarily die on that hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think is my thing. It reckons that I am ever so slightly more in line with the Greens than I am the Lib Dems at the moment.
What have I always told you?
Yeah,
I've
I
always
know, I know.
told you that you're
But then,
essentially a leftist.
but here's the thing. On the it then had a graph, and
Yeah.
actually, you know what? I've still got the thing, so I'll see if I can send you it so you can
Alright.
see it for yourself. Have I still got it? No, I haven't. Where did they go? Where did they go? I've got to find the damn things now.
Well.
What you're doing? Well, you waffle on.
Okay.
The thing is,
You waffle on. Immediately starts talking. Go on.
the graph it presented, which I'm going to find to send to you,
Okay.
it had me as closer on the actual graph to the Lib Dems than any other party.
Mm.
Like, yeah, here we go. Come on. Why won't it let me download the thing that I sent it? Why won't it? Save all. There we go. Fucking thing. Yeah, so it's on its way to you now. The graph itself, I am closer to the Lib Dems than any other party, but in terms of specific issues, supposedly I'm closer to the Greens, which is a bit weird, right?
Yeah, I see that. You are much closer to the Lib Dems than you are Green. But you are a left of centre progressive.
Yeah, which I mean, I would consider myself to be relatively centrist, but the trouble is that the goalposts have moved quite a lot over the last 20 years, haven't they? Centre isn't where if you consider centre to be the slap bang between the two parties, then that's actually slightly right wing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes,
It's
that
fucking.
it's Enoch Powell. Enoch Powell is the new moderate. No, that's not true. Yeah, I mean, I am probably look, I believe in big government. I believe in high taxes. I believe in high investment in public services. I believe in civil rights for the LGBTQ plus community and women and people of color and all that stuff. That's where I stand. That seems pretty fucking left wing to me.
See, I think the thing where it looks like I might not be entirely left wing is when it comes to, as example, trans issues, right?
Yeah.
And it's complicated because
Oh
I'm
God.
very much no. Bear with me here. Bear with me.
Yeah.
I'm very much in favour of. Um, one of the things on that thing was: do you believe that obstacles should be removed so that people can self-report their gender instead of having a diagnosis or whatever it is? So I think it's something the Greens are trying to do,
Yeah.
right? And I'm absolutely the barriers for people to being able to get the support that they need as trans people, if they want the support, everything needs to be removed to make it as easy as possible for them.
Yep.
But you also no, because this is I don't think what I'm about to say is controversial.
Go on then.
It's just, you need to ensure that anyone who is in who could potentially fall victim to anyone abusing that system is properly cared for. So vulnerable spaces need to be considered properly before you implement anything. So, for example, women's prisons
Hmm.
is a difficult subject. It's more difficult than just saying, well, if someone identifies as a woman, then they are a woman,
Yeah.
because that isn't. If a rapist decides, oh, I'm going to identify as a woman, and they
Yeah.
don't need a fucking diagnosis, then what you've done is you put them in a women's prison with a whole host of potential victims, right?
Yeah.
And
I
that's where it gets complicated. It's
I don't I don't think that's controversial. I think that's we need to have a discussion about what that looks like going forward.
yeah, absolutely. It's not. I don't want to say just let them do whatever. If someone says they're a woman, they are a woman. If someone says they are a man, they are a man. It needs to be. It's more complicated issue than
Well,
that.
yes,
And
yes, because people
how you treat them does have to depend on other factors other than how they self-identify.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It should be I don't know, I don't know. Maybe it's like getting a green card. You have to be like you have to demonstrate that you've been living that way for a while and you have a decent history of wanting to transition and things like that. I don't know enough about it, but it's I don't think it's too. Look, I know you well enough. I know you're a good person, so no.
No, that's the thing. I don't. There will be people. There will be people who think that I'm a bigot because of what I've said there, but I'm not a bigot. I just want people to be safe.
See, I don't. I.
You create any system that gives people leniency, and there will be people who abuse it for their own personal gain.
That's true. I would. My counter to that would be I don't think that it's as big of an issue as you might be predicting or as other people might be predicting.
No,
I don't think
I,
we're going
I
to be inundated with prisoners with someone going, what a clever ruse. I'll say I'm a lady and get in. You know.
no, I don't. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a big issue. But the minute it happens, because it can happen, it's
Mm.
going to be a big fucking issue. I'm not saying it's going to happen a lot. I'm saying it's going to happen at some point, and we need to make sure the framework is in place to prevent it as best we can.
Yeah. But
It's why we put seatbelts in cars. Ben, you don't go around saying this car's going to have an accident. You put it in case it has an accident, right?
true. Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
it's, it's the same principle. It's just on a political scale.
Well,
You know.
I mean, speaking of political accidents, shall we do the other
Uh,
big political story this week?
uh, America,
Yeah.
yeah, if you want,
I've got quite a bit to say about this.
kind of, because
Yeah.
I've barely said anything about it. I've not got
Well,
much.
it was the American presidential debate last Thursday, which I didn't really pay any attention to because I was doing this and completely forgot it was a thing.
I've got issue with the fact that it took place. To be quite honest with you.
Well, I'm sure we can get on to that,
Okay.
and the reasons why it did take place and why that's not gone as well as some people might have hoped. But yes, it was Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, and I awoke on the Friday. I think you mentioned it just as we were like signing off from this, and I woke on the Friday and checked Reddit and saw that oh my fucking god, everything went. It went. It, let me put it this way: that was the worst debate performance in any presidential election debate ever. That is the worst.
Okay.
Joe Biden. He repeated himself. He stumbled over his words. At one point, he said he defeated Medicaid, which led to begrudgingly a great Trump zinger, where he said, "I don't know what he said, and I'm not sure he does either." Um, Joe Biden came across looking like a senile old man. Um, and this led to a huge fucking panic. And my
Yeah.
first thought when I saw this was they've just lost the election, and I genuinely believe that they have. I think that's it. There was apparently widespread panic in Democratic circles. Joe Biden went to a rally that day
Hmm.
after the debate, and tried to get the crowd on his side, and he did. But it was a hardcore Biden crowd. Um, so he was always going to have that.
Yeah. He was.
Yeah, apparently there was widespread panic in the Democratic Party on all levels about whether he's up to A, doing the job, and B, winning the election. And there were talk of him being replaced. Now, at this point in the system, in the process, the American system is needlessly fucking complex, but he's had the primaries and he's guaranteed some delegate votes. Essentially, the gist of it is that Joe Biden is going to be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party unless he decides he doesn't want to.
And he's announced today that he's not
He
going to
said he's
step down.
refused. I listened to so many fucking podcasts about this. So I'm now an expert.
Naturally.
He has a very small circle of loyal advisors, most of whom are his family. Um,
Slowly, please, because there's a thing
yeah,
ahead.
I'm not going that way. I'm just getting down. Okay. He met with donors, I think, the day after, to try and reassure them. Then he met with his family. His family apparently, to the last one of them, insisted he stay in the race. He's going to stay in the race. Joe Biden is going to be the presidential nominee for the Democratic Party, and that's fucking awful because he's come across as everything the Republican Party basically said about him. One of the podcasts I listened to made the point that he is 81 now. He is going to be 86 if he wins his next term and finishes. Right? He is only going to get worse. And I don't think I don't think Joe Biden is suffering from dementia. I just think he's old and he had a really bad night, and they put too many facts in his head, and he had a cold. I think there's lots of little factors like that, but it sort of doesn't matter. And I think Joe Biden's had a pretty good first term, apparently, in general. He passed a lot of legislation. He's fucked up on Israel.
Well, who didn't?
Well, yeah. And I've seen a lot of talk that he can still do the job. I think a second Biden term would be fine because it's not just him, it's his entire cabinet, his entire administration is going to be running things. I mean, Ronald Reagan was genuinely suffering from dementia for the last 2 years of his last term. And he didn't make a lot of decisions anyway. He left that, it was the people around him who were making these decisions. He made very few. So I don't think that's the issue. My issue is that Joe Biden cannot win. He cannot win now. And it's less that Democrats are going to be fleeing to the Republican Party, and more that people who are undecided or who were lukewarm Democrats are going to look at that and think, what the fuck is this? I can't vote for either one of these people. That's the issue. It pissed me off that I follow a subreddit, or did, called White People Twitter. And I saw a lot of remarks saying that, oh no, it seemed to be of the opinion that Joe Biden, A, can still do the job, and B, that the people who were complaining about it, or that they were said to lose, were people who were going to vote Democrat and now are going to vote Trump, which is sort of missing the fucking point entirely. I think it's really fucking bad, man. Like, it's really bad. Like, Joe Biden is gonna. I heard a lot of mentions of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Do you know about the Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing?
Yeah, she was on the Supreme Court, and they wanted her to last long enough to. They didn't want. They wanted to. People wanted to survive just long enough for it to be a Democrat president who got to pick a replacement, but she kicked the bucket a few months early,
Well,
and Trump got to pick one, right?
sort of. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a Supreme Court justice, and during Obama's term, there was talk of her retiring so that he could appoint the new Supreme Court justice. Right?
Yeah.
She refused on the grounds that she wanted to stand down during Hillary Clinton's presidency. So, the first woman president, she could resign during that landmark administration. Of course, Hillary Clinton doesn't win, and Trump wins, at which point Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies and sullies her legacy. And there's been a lot of talk about Joe Biden doing exactly the fucking same, because he could go out kind of on a high. He could take one for the team and, for his country and his party, and say, look, I need to step aside and let a new generation take charge. He's refusing to do that, right?
Yeah.
And a long, long while ago, I I said that Joe Biden is going to be remembered as the modern um, James Buchanan, i.e., the guy who was in charge just before shit went down and could have done a lot more to prevent it. James Buchanan was president when the Civil War broke out, right?
Mhm.
And I look at what's happening now, and I think that's going to come true. I think Joe Biden is a nominee. He loses, and the Republicans, strip back democracy and human rights in the United States to the point where it is no longer really recognizable as the land of the free. I think
Okay.
that's how America dies because a boomer wouldn't fuck off. A boomer wouldn't
Well,
do the right thing.
he's not a boomer,
All right, a silent generation. What is he?
which is yeah, he's part of a silent generation, I think it is,
Fuck, he's old.
which is ridiculous, absolutely
He's
ridiculous.
80.
That
How the
he's
fuck are we championing an 81-year-old man to be?
over. It's either an 81-year-old man or a 78-year-old man. Neither is good when it comes to trying to decide what to do for best for the country. There has to be an upper limit on these things. It really does. Because
That
how can you be truly representative of a people who
exactly.
who he was born before we went before fucking I don't know what was going on 81 years ago, but I mean, Christ, it
Are
was
you
bad.
still looking at that thing, or are you?
No, no, I was trying to find there was a creature around here. It was literally 10 to 20 meters away. I
Mm,
can't find the damn thing now.
I think
Oh, it must have run off because it's got running tracks here. That's a shame. It didn't tell me it ran off.
Um. Yeah, I think it's. Oh, there it is. Well, there's something. What's really annoying is that the Democrats, when he inevitably does lose, um, are gonna end up blaming third-party voters, right?
Almost certainly. But it's not that, is it? Really?
You are not entitled to somebody's vote, right?
No.
You have to win their vote. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. You win the vote. You have to persuade them. People can make stupid decisions while voting. I think voting for the Reform Party makes you a fucking asshole or a madman or both.
Your
Um,
note on my graph I sent you, very much not a Reform Party
yes,
voter.
yes. Um, but it's if they don't vote for you, that's not their fault necessarily.
No, no.
It's up to you to win their vote, to persuade them to vote for you, right? That's your
Yeah.
fault if you don't do that. And there are plenty of people in the Democratic Party who might be good at it. I mean, Kamala Harris would be awful, um, but
I know. Is it Robert? Robert
ah,
Kennedy.
RFK,
He's
yeah, the guy who barbecued a dog.
apparently it was a goat.
Oh, was it right? That's a relief.
I mean, fuck it. You know,
Yeah,
it's a fucking so what? If in some countries they eat dogs, what's wrong with fucking doing it? I don't care.
it was a bit of a
It doesn't
garish
bother me.
photo.
Well, I haven't seen the photo, but I mean, conceptually, the idea of eating a dog, it's not my cup of tea, but there are cultures where that happens. Who am I to judge someone doing that? Someone who wants to be on the world stage, I realistically is probably going to have to sample other people's cultures. Well,
Mm.
fuck it. But the real issue is whether he did
Oh,
touch up
yeah.
that babysitter.
Oh, right. For a second there, I thought you'd been signed to the RFK election team.
Well, what can I say?
Mm.
They know how fond I am of the Newsflesh trilogy, and
Mm.
they said, "Hey, let's get this blogger on board."
Well, it's not just that Biden did really badly. It's that Trump has like this animal cunning where he stepped back and let Biden talk and hang himself.
Yeah.
It didn't help that there was a split screen as well, so you just saw Biden staring off into space while Trump was talking.
What is it Napoleon says? Never point out your enemy's mistakes.
Yes, never interrupt your opponent when he's making a mistake.
Yeah, that's it. Something like that.
Um, yeah, and he presented himself in a way that wasn't like the rambling arsehole of 20.
Every other encounter
Yes,
we've ever had of him.
I mean he lied through his fucking teeth. But what he
Yeah,
said,
well,
the thing about these things is it doesn't matter what you say; it matters how you say it, right?
yeah,
And how you look while you say it. And Trump looked like somebody who, had control over himself, and he looked far more presidential, which would probably lead voters to conclude, oh look, he's mellowed. Um, and I mean, for some reason, CNN or MSNBC or whoever it was had like a time limit, which I assume that they put in to stop Trump from like rambling. Oh, and they started talking about golf as well, which is
Hmm.
really weird. It was like I think Joe Biden was trying to get in a zinger and saying that he could beat him at golf, but he had to carry his own bags or something like that. But it just sounded like
Hmm.
two old pricks in a retirement home bickering.
Yeah, I mean, is that not what that was, really, in a way?
Yeah.
Can I talk about my issue with your whole thing in the first place?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at present, he's just Biden is just the expected candidate, right? I mean, it's because of being an incumbent, but they expect him to be the candidate based on that.
Mm.
The Republicans haven't finished voting for their candidate yet, have they? They've not picked the candidate. It's not official that it's going to be Trump. So
We
what the
ha-
fuck are they having a debate?
we haven't had conventions, no.
So what's going on? Why
Well,
why
then,
they why did this thing take place in the first place? Considering neither of them are technically officially the fucking presidential candidates yet.
well, they're both the presumptive candidates in that nobody else has really thrown their hat massively into the ring. We've had primaries where they both come out massively on top. Um, I think,
It seems flawed to me. You know?
yeah. I mean, the whole reason I can't remember who called for it, whether it was Trump or Biden. It might have been Biden's team who called for it, but I imagine
Fucking idiots.
the entire reason they called for that was to, relieve concerns about him being too old. We'll get him on the
And now
stage.
look
He'll
what's
rip
happened.
Trump apart. Trump will be exposed. Completely fucking backfired. I don't know if they'll go ahead with a second one. I've heard people saying they sort of don't really have a choice, that they have to. But if I was Trump, I'd be like, no, I'm not, I don't want to do it. Let's leave that image because they can only do better, frankly.
Yeah.
There's a
There's a whole load of shit over there. I'm trying to line up
okay.
so I got a decent shot on them. Although I now realise I'm downwind. Oh, what happened there? One of them's got spooked. Do you think he sniffed me?
I don't know.
I lost sound as well, which is not helpful.
Lovely. I'm going for this one then.
Oh, got one.
I is your one down? Because my one's down.
Mine is definitely down.
Right. I think we might have been shooting at the same one.
I mean, did you flag your one?
Um, I think you flagged it for me.
I didn't flag any. For fuck's sake! I'm
I,
guaranteed. I'm certain I shot that light one was on the floor.
we'll see. I think
I
you.
mean,
I think you probably did, but I think I killed it. I don't know. We'll see. I could easily be wrong. Do you want me to get it, or do you want you can get it if you like?
I'd rather get it, to be honest, because
I,
I've not. This is the first thing I've tried to shoot at all bloody
all right.
thing.
Yeah. Sorry. No. Go ahead, old pal.
It got a vital organ shot. Right, so we did both hit it.
Hmm.
I did 96 and you did 4. What's interesting is
Oh.
we both hit it in the left lung, but mine also hit it in the right lung.
Oh, there's one over here.
You
Oh,
you got it in the stomach as well, but I definitely did the bulk share of that
no,
one.
that was all me. Okay, fair
Um,
enough. I mean, you hit it, and it didn't seem to. Well, I think I hit it only like a fraction of a second after you did.
it must have
Yeah,
been so fucking close
because
for it to have.
it didn't. I think I heard your shot, but it didn't budge. So I think in the moment I assumed, oh, he's gone for a different one.
That was the only one that I had a decent line on.
Yeah.
And you tagged one much further to the left, so I
Yeah.
thought you were going with one of those
Well, here
ones.
you can have that one and all if you like.
I don't know where it is. Are you next to it?
Then there's one down here. I just heard it cry out.
Oh, I can't hear a shit. Fucking ring to go through it. Just take it.
The mainstream media have gotten a bit of a hammering as well because of this.
Okay.
They've been focusing so much on Biden's age and his atrocious debate performance, and they haven't really challenged Trump. The reason they haven't challenged Trump is he's such a known quantity. It's not news if Donald Trump lies in the debate. It should be. You should be hammering that constantly, but they're not. I don't think
No.
it's bias against Democrats. I think it's just this narrative is worn out. The news needs novelty and new things, but it doesn't.
People don't care anymore about it. Trump isn't outrageous anymore.
He's established, is what he
Yeah.
is. Right? Everybody knows who Donald Trump is at this point. You might be making your mind up as to whether you like that or not, but everybody knows, right? He is a known quantity. Um, so any reporting is just a bit dull. And of course, this whole thing is such a big fucking deal, because it it sinks the Democrats' chances entirely. I think it's
Yeah.
over. I think it's over.
Well, I mean, there's still time for him to say,
Oh, there's one up there I didn't see.
there's still time for him to say, you know what, actually, I'm going to stand down.
They've said that if he drops massively in the polls, and if he this is all you, this one.
What one?
This one over here that I've got. You got it in the pelvis and the fibula.
I didn't think I'd hit it. Anything else?
Oh, you got it.
Ah.
Mm.
Honestly, I was shooting at a few, but they were jumping about all over. I didn't think I'd hit anything.
Well, they say if he drops a significant chunk in the polls, and if donor money starts drying up, and if big players within the Democratic Party start saying it's time for him to go, then it will become untenable. But there's not. The convention's in August. Is it in August or is it November?
I don't know.
October. I think
the vote's in November.
it's in August. It must be. When is the DNC National Convention? Let's have a look. It's in August, 19th to the 22nd of August. Thing is, the way this works, and again, I don't fully understand it, but he's done the primaries, and if you get a certain amount of delegates based on how well you do in the primaries, and they are assigned to you and they are yours, right? So during the convention, you call the roll, and the delegates offer their votes to, they get so many votes per state, and they offer it to whichever candidate. Because he's won almost unopposed, really. I think there was one guy running against him, some primary states. He's already got a massive chunk of delegates already that are essentially sworn to him, right? They have to vote for him unless he tells them to vote for somebody else.
It's fucking ridiculous.
There's no way forward, and he's not budging. It's a
ridiculous voting system.
He's fucked his legacy and he's fucked the country. He's fucked it completely. You can do it. You can do it.
I already shot it.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It stopped in just the right spot for me to be able to shoot it, so I shot it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, we'll have to see how much more fucked it gets, but I'm not expecting it to go well. What would be really good? What I would fucking love is if Trump got more votes, but Biden still won.
Yes, that would be interesting. Of course, that would.
I would love to see what Trump says.
Well, it would lead. He'd just say, "Oh, he's stolen the election," even though it's exactly what happened when he ran against Clinton.
Yeah.
No Republican, with the exception of 2004, has won the popular vote in a presidential election.
Oh, right long.
Oh, well done. Has won the popular vote in a presidential election since 1988. I didn't phrase that properly. Wow. Yeah. Since 1988, the Republicans have won it once, and that was in 2004 during the Iraq War.
Well, tempers were quite flared, weren't they? Still.
It's hard to beat a wartime president.
I miss Bush. Do you miss Bush?
I miss Bush Senior.
I miss Junior. At least when he was saying shit, he was actually funny.
Yeah, he seems like I'm repeating the thing everybody thinks about Bush Senior is that he seems like the sort of guy you could probably hang out with and have a good old time. Yeah, even though he was probably one of the worst presidents they've ever had.
The trouble is, right, and don't get me wrong, Bush Junior was not great at his job, right? But he was a lot better than Trump was.
Yeah.
And he was a laughingstock at the time, but let's be honest, fucking hell, how much it's like Boris Johnson. He's the Boris Johnson to the Liz Truss. Right? Boris Johnson was fucking awful for his country, but when you compare him to what Liz Truss did,
I mean, the bar is so fucking low. I mean, I was thinking about this. I
And it
mean,
keeps getting lower.
I mentioned George Bush Senior, but I miss the days when you know the Republicans had candidates who weren't fucking insane, who weren't wannabe fascists.
I saw something recently. The the kind of things that John McCain
Yeah,
was saying about Obama
yeah,
compared to the things that Trump says
I
about
know.
Biden, and it's a perfect example. It was the clip I've seen. I'm assuming it's a real clip
Is it with
because
the woman who says he's a Muslim or something?
he funds ISIS, is what she says about him. And it's like, no, that's not true. He fights ISIS. He fights against them. They're extremists, and he's a good man. And me and him, we disagree on how to do things,
Yes.
but he's a good man. And that is exactly what you want from your opponent. You don't want mudslinging. You want someone gracious in defeat.
Mm,
You want someone with a bit of fucking honor. And there's none of that in politics anymore. I'm going to level with you. There's none of it over here.
no, I mean we're better off than the Americans for now, but Jesus fucking Christ. I mean,
It's just
fucking hell.
terrible.
You know who I started to miss? I started to miss fucking Nixon.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he was crooked, but I mean, a lot.
I'll have you know he was not a crook.
They all were. I mean, LBJ had the CIA bug Barry Goldwater's phones. He was cheating all sorts
LBJ
of.
used to drive his car into a lake to tease people. You
And
can't trust what he does.
I fucking love LBJ. I think he was great, even though he committed sexual assault on numerous occasions by whipping his dick out at congressmen and being like, "You will vote, or I will. I swear to God, I will beat you with this."
Was it a particularly big dick?
He called it Jumbo.
Yeah, but I mean, I call
Yeah,
mine Little John.
yes, it was. By all accounts, it was sizable.
I don't call mine Little John. That was just.
He'd do this thing where he'd take congressmen into the bathroom and talk to them while he was pissing, and it would throw them off so bad. That guy could get fucking shit done.
Well.
And it's the electorate's fault. It is our fault. We are a dumber
Whoa,
electorate
whoa, whoa.
than
Hang on, hang on. Don't blame me for the shit that's going on in America.
well, you know what I mean though.
That's not our fault.
You get the government you deserve.
Do you know what I'm sort of looking forward to?
Death.
Well, yeah, but do you know what I'm sort of looking forward to with regards to our own election that is taking place today at that time of recording?
A Portillo moment.
No, because I'm not entirely sure what a Portillo moment is. So,
1997, Michael Portillo. He was the biggest name to lose his seat.
oh, okay, fair enough. No, not that either.
Yeah.
I'm sort of looking forward to almost certainly having voted for the winning team.
Oh, that's a first for you, isn't it?
Well, it'll be a first for you as well, I should think. Because
Well, I voted for the Greens.
yeah, but did the Greens win?
Well, I voted for the Greens this time.
Okay, but But what I'm saying is it hasn't happened in our lifetime that we've voted for a party who's ended up in power, right?
No, I haven't.
I would have voted for the Lib Dems in 2010 if we'd been allowed to vote, and I would have considered that a half win.
I would have voted
But we were
Labour.
too young to vote back then.
Yeah, I voted Labour in 2015. I voted Remain. I voted Labour in 2019. I voted Green.
I've never voted for the winner,
No, I never
and
have.
it will be nice to. I understand my motives weren't pure,
Yeah,
but it will be nice to be on the winning team just for once, even if it was just for the day. You know,
just for the day. It's nice to win a little one, isn't it?
just my for once my vote was part of a tally that mattered
Yeah.
instead of the discard pile at
Mm.
the end of the day when it didn't matter. And that's why we need voter reform. We need reform to, you know,
Proportional
not
representation.
to we don't need people to vote for the reform party. What we need is the way that the voting is done to be reformed.
Yeah, but people don't have the patience for that sort of shit, man. It's too complicated. Why can't I just put an X in a box, eh? It's bloody communism, that. Proportional representation. Bloody hell.
I saw a picture of a spoiled ballot, which I don't know how true it is because you're not meant to take pictures in there. You're not meant to have cameras or your phones out. But anyway, I saw a spoiled ballot that was accusing Keir Starmer of having had an extramarital affair that had got someone pregnant.
Hmm.
And made a point of saying that it wasn't a vote for any particular candidate. Because obviously, if you mention Keir Starmer, who is of the Labour Party, they could construe that as a vote for
Well,
Labour.
that's the thing. I mean, I've done election counting on election night, and you put all the spoiled ballots to one side, whether that's Tories are cunts or just someone who's put an X in one box and an X in another, but sort of crossed it out.
Hmm.
You put them in together, and then the election officers take them, and the candidates stand around and they go through them and they say, right, I reckon this is actually a vote for the Liberal Democrats because there's an X in this box, and they put an X in the Labour box, but they crossed out the Labour box, etc., etc., etc. It's actually you have more of a say politically if you spoil your ballot than you do
Yeah.
if you vote. If you vote, you're just mindless. You're one of many. You don't really
Yeah.
matter. If you spoil your ballot, they have to see that shit. So if you call your MP a cunt, he will see that.
Here's a real question.
Yeah.
How many spoiled votes do you think it's going to be? Do you think there would be enough spoiled votes to potentially elect someone if it all happened in the same place?
I, I think there'll be more than usual. Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe more than last year. I doubt it.
Have you seen the film Brewster's Millions?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm familiar with it.
It's Richard Pryor, I believe,
Yeah.
who needs to spend, I think it's $3 million in a certain period of time, like a fortnight or something, or a week, and
I think
he's
it might
got
be
a
30. It's something like that.
oh, it might be a month, yeah. No, and he wins a hell of a lot more if he manages it, but he's not allowed to tell anyone, and he's not allowed to have anything to show for it at the end.
Yeah. It
And
just seems like he
one of
buys
the
a stamp, doesn't he? Like a stamp for like $20,000, and he posts a letter with it.
yes, that's exactly what they're like. Does he not understand the rules? He's not allowed to have an asset, and then they open a letter from him and realize that he's used that stamp to exactly that. And conceptually it's a fantastic film because
I'd like to
it's
see
parts
it.
of it are brilliant. I recommend it. I've not seen it in a long time, and I don't think I've actually seen all of it. I've seen most of it. And there's a point where he's like, "I'm going to run for political office," and he runs as the none of the above party. So they want people to vote for none of the above because people are doing a bad job. But he has to pull out on the last day because he's going to win, and he's funded it with his money, and as such, it would count as an asset because he's gained from having spent. He has to pull out of it.
Yeah.
None of the above still gets the vote, but he doesn't get take the job for it. He doesn't get the benefit for having, and it throws things up. He plays for a baseball team, and he pays for like the New York Yankees or something to play against this little team that he's part of. And then he has to sit out because he's just not that good a player compared to the rest of the team. And it's this really sad, heartbreaking part of the film. But it's a fucking brilliant film, and I do recommend it. But for some reason, it made me think of that because of the whole none of the above thing.
Yeah, it just sound like a good idea. What clever ways can you think to waste money, essentially?
Yeah.
He can't destroy it either. That's another thing. He can't just like throw it in a. He can't give it away.
He can't give it away. He's got to pay for it. There's got to be proper receipts.
As I recall, he can give like a bit away to charity.
Maybe
you give like 500,000 you can give to charity out of your 30 million you got to get rid of.
And he gets emotionally attached to a woman who's like, "You're wasting all this money," and he can't explain why he's wasting all this money. And her fiance is like a real bastard in it because he's actually held like $20,000 back deliberately as an attempt to try and cheat him out of the winnings because the bankers that are in charge of it all get all the money if it does happen, if he does lose, and they want the money. So it's fraud. They're trying to defraud the bastard. It's a good film. If you haven't seen the film, watch the film, and that includes you, Ben. Add it to the list.
Based on a 1902 novel, apparently. Yeah, he accepted the challenge to spend 30 million in 30 days in order to inherit 300 million from his great uncle. Film was met with negative reviews, apparently.
Well, people think negatively about a lot of films, and then actually history proves them wrong, right? That actually gets me on because yes, that's it. Yeah. Do you know why I don't trust a review written by anyone else? Really?
Why?
Because I've written them myself, so I fucking know what goes into them. I know how fucking arbitrary they can be at times. And B, because Roger Ebert loved Knowing, the 2009 film with Nicolas Cage in it, and I thought that film was utter dog shit.
Yeah, Ebert didn't.
It's one of the worst films That it on my. Do you remember I used to joke about the that guyometer? It's the list of the scale on which everything can be measured.
Yeah.
For films, 0, the very bottom of the scale, would have been Knowing. The 2009 film starring Nicolas Cage. Because at some point in the future, there's going to be another movie Knowing. And I want it absolutely clear. I'm talking about the 2009 film called Knowing, starring Nicolas Cage. That film is the worst film I have ever seen. And I've seen The Librarian, Curse of the Judas Chalice.
You really?
Which is also a fucking awful film.
I don't
The
think.
best part of that film, the Librarian film, is the title sequence, which looks like a fucking awesome film.
I don't think you.
Genuinely.
I don't think you've seen enough films. You want to watch The Creeping Terror. That's a guy in a carpet slowly moving towards teenagers in the 50s.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, but you have to make certain allowances to when films were made, right? You have to. They could do less in the
Well,
50s
yeah,
than they can do now.
I don't mind the special effects thing. It's just it's so fucking slow.
Okay,
You
well,
know?
it is the worst film that I have seen.
Mm.
Is a true statement. It is an objectively true statement that, as far as I'm concerned, the worst film that I have ever seen is Knowing, 2009 movie starring Nicolas Cage.
He also didn't like Die Hard.
Yeah, and he's wrong. He's wrong about that. Die Hard is an awesome film. It has its moments.
He didn't like
But,
Fight Club.
Fight Club, again, great film.
The Thing.
Some done now.
Roger Ebert didn't like The Thing.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes. Which is great. And visually very impressive.
There's a reason I wanted to move on to Roger Ebert for a very particular reason, and it's because he gets mentioned in a song that came to mind today.
All right.
It's a song called "The Bad Touch." Are you familiar with that song?
No, he said that the Graduate soundtrack was instantly forgettable. Continue.
"The Bad Touch" is a song by the Bloodhound Gang. I'm certain you will know it because it's a song that goes. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like they do on the Discovery Channel.
I know of the song and I know of the Bloodhound Gang because it was mentioned in the Red Letter Media. They did a video quiz thing, whether the lyric was by the Bloodhound Gang or by Marilyn Manson.
Okay, fair enough. All the songs that I know about by the Bloodhound Gang are about trying to get laid in some way. And I don't know a massive amount of songs, but I mean, there's one where the vast majority of the song is just euphemisms for fucking. So it's like moisturize the never rod and put the lap rocket in the ham wallet and stuff like that. It's just fucking the whole thing. I mean, the title is Foxtrot Uniform Charlie Kilo, right? So I mean, you know it's going to be fucking about fucking, right? Yeah. But every single song of theirs that I know, one of them, I think it's The Ballad of Chasey Lane or something like that. And the premise is that this guy is a big fan of someone called Chasey Lane, and he wants to eat her ass. So he's written her a letter about how much he, her biggest fan, should be allowed to eat her ass. And there's a point where he adds in, he's got supposedly input from his mother and father in his letter that he's writing. A bit Stan-esque, I might add at this point. I was thinking about it on the way home while I was listening. And this is my mom and dad. Now show me your tits.
Right.
And it's like, I mean, it's not a classy song. It's not even necessarily a good song. But there's something about it that just works. It speaks to me on a, this is, as horrifying as this would be if it actually happened, this is actually amusing as a parody of, well, as a parody of Stan, which is how I view it. And I'm not even sure what the years are, but how can it be anything other than something like Stan? Right? We were talking about rappers earlier. Someone was criticizing Drake as a rapper, and I'm not familiar with any of Drake's works. But someone asked, well, how good is he as a rapper? And my one contribution to the conversation of any real note was, well, I know he's not the real Slim Shady.
Tee
he indeed.
Is this my kill I'm tracking or yours?
I shot it first for definite. I didn't hear any shots from you until after.
You were shooting in a different direction to me, and then two ran past.
Okay, well, I'm following one. I'm trying to follow one, but I definitely shot first because I found blood at the point where I shot it. It ran off, and then I heard shot from
Come
you. So
here,
I sorted my
John.
sound out.
Okay.
I got my sound sorted out. So
Mm.
I only shot once as well for this one. This feral goat, which is very close to dead. 0 to 25%. Yeah, I do like the Bloodhound as a. Why are you beeping at me for? Oh, no, that's fine. Oh shit! Come on. Yeah, Bloodhound Gang. I recommend them if you don't mind a stupid joke about getting laid, because I mean there is something quite entertaining about it, and you know it's very 90s. The Bad Touch. There's a lot of references to. Yeah, a 100% flesh kill. This one
All right.
from me.
Well, okay. Let's see if we can track, because I'm pretty sure the blood disappears if you find the kill. Oh, come on, John. There must be. There's nothing. I didn't hit it. You taking the fucking piss? I guess not. That's a bloody shame.
So were you tracking my one?
Yeah, apparently.
Hmm? Fair enough. No, it was definitely me who got the kill on that. But when they're moving, it's a lot harder, isn't it?
Mm.
Kind of a point. How have we been going?
I don't know.
It's got to be getting on for an hour.
Yeah, I think it probably is. An hour, 3 minutes. So, you know,
Oh,
bearing in
well,
mind I was recording before we got into the game, so it's probably about 55.
yeah, you just don't have any clue about time, do you?
Uh. Ah! No. Let me kill you.
Do you eat salad, Ben?
Why, what?
Do you eat salad?
You know I don't.
Okay. Well, I mean, not even a little bit.
Fucking arsehole, I got you. On occasion, I don't seek it out.
What's your thoughts on onion in salad?
Against?
You're against onion in salad?
Yeah,
Any form of onion or specific onion?
any form of onion. I don't like it in chow mein either.
Oh, that's fair enough, I suppose. Because I made a bit of a salad for my tea the other night, and it became a topic of conversation amongst myself and the lads group because they were talking about some bullshit. So I was like, "Here's a picture of my salad that I made," and it was quite a nice salad for my intents purposes. But I had some spring onion and some red onion in there, and there was criticism because he's like, "You can't fucking eat red onion raw. What are you playing at?" I'm like, "Well, it's in a salad. I'm not going to fry up an onion."
Or maybe I am fine. I think I am fine with it, actually. When I get side salad, when I get scampi or something, I'm fine with it then. So, yeah, probably am fine with it.
Yeah, and it's for me. I think it's an important part because it provides a crunch. It's a texture thing. It's like peppers in a salad. You know, you need that extra texture because you can't have it all just be leaky water stuff like tomatoes and cucumbers. There's a thing over here. I'm going to run towards it. But yeah, I like onion in salad. Oh, it's just a hide of some sort.
My fortune cookie. Good news of a long-awaited event will arrive soon.
Oh,
Tories falling from power.
I mean, the good news is it really news at this point if we get it?
I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, I don't think anybody, is suggesting otherwise. Wouldn't it be funny if it was a hung parliament? Wouldn't it be funny if they just got back in?
I would be incredibly depressed if it.
I'd
Are
find
you
it.
staying up for it, or are you
Yeah,
going to bed?
yeah, I'm staying up.
I'm gonna wake up a bit early. I think I'm not gonna say because there's gonna be like 4 hours of fucking pointless time wasting. Right?
I have no commitments tomorrow. I'm home all day, so yeah.
Well, I'm home most of the day because I'm working from home and I have a day. But I don't want to waste the 4 hours that I could spend because I'm going to be knackered tomorrow when I've got my partner over. Otherwise, so like, I'd quite like to hang out with her. Although she voted for the first time today.
Oh, who for?
I didn't ask. It's none of my business. If she wants to tell me, she will.
Reform.
I hope not. I mean, she did a very short quiz thing, and it had her mostly Lib Dem, but she'd only done a few questions. I was quite surprised by it, but she had only done a few questions. I don't think she'll be one of the right wing parties.
Here's a question:
Yeah,
do you think two opposite people can be in a relationship?
absolutely. It's why we get on so well. I'm fantastic, and you're a cunt.
Mean.
You know, I didn't mean it. I mean, if this week's anything to go by,
Fuck you.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying, I'm a reasonable one out of the two of us.
Well,
Objectively speaking,
ugh. You're a reasonable twad.
yeah, sometimes.
My fortune cookie didn't have a fortune in it. Is that bad?
You just read your fortune.
I've got 4.
Is that because you've ordered 4 people's worth of food?
Hey, what is wrong with you tonight?
No, I've asked a question.
No, I asked
Have
them.
you, if you
No,
ordered 4 mains and that was it, then maybe they might think, you know,
I asked for fortune cookies. They stick fortune cookies in a bag.
okay. Oh, I did know. I did hit it.
Hmm.
I didn't think I'd hit it, but I did. And there we go.
Hmm.
Very low bleed rate there.
Yeah. So I have
I would
2
imagine
hours
so.
before the fucking exit.
Yep.
Mm.
I need John Nettles. Oh no, hang on, I found some.
Yeah.
I need John Nettles though.
I'm coming. But do you think someone who's it just because you know a bit about politics? Are you aiming for that deer?
I don't know what it was. He ran up the hill, so
Oh,
I shot.
I'm using John Nels.
Okay. Well, it's definitely a blood trail here. As someone who knows a bit about politics, what are you
Well,
asking?
you and your part, she presumably has very little interest in it.
Yeah, it's something that she's not had much interest in the past. It's something that she probably wouldn't have that much interest in if I hadn't said that it's something that's quite important to me, and I think it's quite important for people to do, and B, if she wasn't so fucking determined that everything's wrong at the moment and she wants it to be fixed.
Do you?
Which is how I know she's not going to vote Tory.
What do you have in common with her?
What do you
Apart from
mean?
the obvious, your partner. What would you say you have in common? I'm curious.
I'd say we're both fairly progressive people. We'd have
Yeah.
to be, wouldn't we, based on the very makeup of our relationship?
The sins, yeah.
You know, well, I was going to say you don't have right wingers roughly fucking each other on a regular basis, but actually that's kind of their thing, isn't it?
Mm.
It's kind of one of the things they're known for. So, whoops. This is just a flesh shot. Got it in my leg. Oh no, hang on. I got it in the just below the arse and then just in the front leg. So that's not a bad shot, really. Yeah, I mean we're both, I would say, progressive people. We're both into a lot of the same stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We don't talk about ideology all that often because a lot of it's either really obvious or not that relevant.
Mm.
You know, we're both on the LGBT thing,
Have I gone
aren't we?
completely the wrong fucking way?
I don't
Where are
know if
you
you're following
taking
John.
me, John?
He must be taking you to another one. Are you finding blood?
No, but
Oh,
John, I've upgraded him so he skips a bit.
oh, okay. Hopefully you've got blood.
But I'm
Got
not
some
seeing
blood.
anything blue either, which sort of makes me think yours has looped around and he's ended up going for that one instead.
Well, I've picked mine up, so
Okay.
there's something over there. 190 from me, and you're 120 from me.
Let me get a headshot on this. Probably not.
Oh, there's quite a few down there.
Yeah.
Hang on a sec, because that's John Nettles on the floor.
Oh,
And there was a dead one right next to him.
what? Oh,
There's a
cool.
dead
That
one on
must
the
be
floor.
mine. Thank you, John.
He found it. And
Oh, the shit shot.
I don't. You got a topic you want to go on to?
Yeah, go on. I went on Netflix recently and saw
Oh,
they're putting ads in things,
oh, great.
which rather pissed me off.
Yeah,
Um,
because I mean, if you're paying for a fucking thingy, you should be getting it ad free, really, because that's what the fucking
well,
payments are
yeah,
for.
I mean,
And they keep hiking the prices up.
they do, don't they?
Like, it's not a massive increase, but percentage-wise, it counts.
Oh, yeah. I think that's one I hit. If you're aiming for the same one, I don't know.
It's not dead yet. It's for fingers. That it is now. Oh, it will be in a sec. I don't know if I just hit it as well, man. Its neck did a little spasm thing right after I shot, but I couldn't really see you
Who
very well.
bloody knows?
I'll know if I get some experience out of it. But yeah, I hear that Rupert Murdoch is going to be starting a free with adverts streaming service here in the UK. It's Tubi, something that's over in America. He's bringing it over here after like 10 years of it being over there. And it's basically just an online channel. At this point, it's not a fucking, you know, it's a channel on a website somewhere. I've travelled 100 miles on foot.
Well done.
Thank you. And I would walk 900 more. Just
right. Go on, John Nettles. See if you can find Daddy something nice.
I learned something. Oh no, actually no. Whilst we're on the TV channels thing, unless you've got more about Netflix.
Not really. Just pissed me off. We're moving back to cable. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna start pirating again, and then somebody will have the bright idea. Why don't we make streaming services that don't have ads? That sounds clever. Let's do that.
Well, a TV station shut down. It stopped broadcasting this last week.
Yeah.
Do you know which one it was?
No.
If I told you it was a music channel, would that help?
It's MTV.
No, not MTV.
What? No, it wouldn't.
If you don't know, you don't know.
I don't know any of the music channels.
Kerrang!
Oh yeah, I've heard of it.
Kerrang shut down, and they finished with a montage of clips and stuff, and with the song "Thanks for the Memories" by Fall Out Boy, which obviously is a very good choice for. I mean, it's a bittersweet song in terms of thanks for the memories, even though they weren't so great. It's the lyrics.
Thank you for the music. The songs.
Well, no,
it's singing.
not. It's not very Kerrang for him to have played an ABBA track.
The joys they're bringing.
It's not a very. It's not very ABBA.
Live without it.
Oh, there's another one over here.
Yeah, I'm tracking it. I ask in all honesty.
I want that at my funeral, you know.
What would life be?
Do you know how I'm so fucking fond of music? I want that song at my funeral.
Hello.
You literally jumped in the way as I was clicking. I've got invalid target on my thing. Oh, I got some points for that.
You got 22% of that.
I'm fairly happy with that, considering I was shooting from across a thing and it was running, and I shot it through a bush, from my perspective. But yeah, Kerrang's been shut down. And I don't have any strong feelings about Kerrang, but it ran from 2001 to 2020. So like, we've outlived it at both ends.
Yep. Fuck you,
but
Kerrang.
Again, when we were born, Channel 5 didn't exist.
Happy days.
Channel 5 wasn't around until 1997. It was launched by the Spice Girls.
Channel 4 was younger than we are.
No, Channel 4 isn't younger than us. Channel 4 was launched in 87.
No, Channel 4 was younger than we are now. When
we
were born.
Yes, sorry. Yeah. So this has been a hit by one of us.
Yeah, it's at 50. I'm tracking it now. I'll let you pick
I
it up, I
don't.
guess.
Okay, thanks. I know we both shot at. Oh shit! We both shot at it. So,
Mm.
well, I'd be surprised if I'd hit it, but then you didn't think you'd
Well,
hit
I'd
it
be
either. So
surprised if I hit it, frankly. I shot. I don't think it moved at all. I reckon you got it.
I didn't. I couldn't properly see it, which is why I'm thinking it probably wasn't me.
Mm.
But we'll see. We will see.
Is that it? That's a lady one.
I also learned something um, that surprised me this
Oh,
week.
God damn it. Yeah, go on.
Uh, you know Shaun the Sheep,
Yeah.
the character Shaun the Sheep. Do you know who does the voice for Shaun the Sheep? Oh, it
Um,
is.
Bette Midler.
Now be serious. You got this. It was 100% you, Fleshfeld.
Oh, look at that. I'm gonna guess a British comedy actor who's not one of the bigger names. Uh, I'm gonna guess. I don't know, Greg James.
Justin Fletcher.
That name rings a bell.
He's the bloke who plays Mr. Tumble and does all the special needs entertainment stuff for likes of CBeebies.
I don't have a child. I don't know this shit.
No, but you'd know him if you saw him.
Well, I'm looking him up now.
I mean, it's a face you should recognise. Even if
Oh, him.
him. He does the voice for Shaun the Sheep.
Yeah, I think I knew. Well, I say I think I knew that. I'm now that I've seen his face. I think I've seen him standing by Shaun the Sheep promotional stuff. That makes
I'm
sense.
like, I mean, it does make sense, but like, fucking blows my mind that they've got him doing the voice for Shaun the Sheep,
Well,
even though Shaun the Sheep's a fucking sheep.
yeah,
There is no voice in those things.
it's like when George Clooney played a dog on South Park.
It's like when George Clooney played a fox in Fantastic Mr. Fox. Oh wait, no, it's nothing like that because they actually acted. But like they proper acted for that because they were like they were running through a field and recording the conversation as they were running through a field.
What in Fantastic Mr. Fox?
Yeah, they method acted it as best they could without actually turning it.
Boggis, Bunsen, Bean. One fat, one short, one lean. Boggis,
This
Bunsen.
turkey ain't getting saved, pardoned. It was
This
Thanksgiving.
horrible crook, so different in
Oh,
looks, phenomenal is equally mean.
happy Independence Day.
Yeah.
I've got a series of 5 questions for you to celebrate Independence Day.
Okay.
These are the 5 questions from today's BBC Radio 2 quiz of the Thursday, quiz of the week thing that they do every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say how many you get. Spoiler alert: I got 3 out of 5.
Okay. I'll do my best.
And one of them was a 50-50 and I picked it wrong. So, you know. Question 1.
Mm.
From which musical will you hear a song with words "Another day, another destiny, never-ending road to Calvary"? These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second. I want a musical that is from.
Another day, another destiny. These men who come from Calvary will surely know my
No,
crime.
no, 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 no. Another day, another destiny. This never-ending road to Calvary.
Yeah.
These men who seem to know my crime will surely come a second time. Feel free to comment below if you know the answer to these questions.
Well, I sort of want to say Les Mis.
Okay, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Correct. Well done.
Hey.
It's one day more from Les Mis.
This woman leaves behind a suffering child.
From an unmet being who can intercede. In mercy's name, 3 days are all I need.
And I'm
No.
there. Etc. Go on. Next.
So, question number 2.
There's a thing down there and I want it.
Okay, I'm going to park on the floor while I try and remember what question 2 was. From which... what? There is a famous
Les Mis.
TV... There's a famous TV pub.
Yeah.
On a street called Bridge Street.
Okay.
What is the name of the pub?
Bridge Street. Well, my first thought, of course, goes to Soames. Pubs are a big thing there. It's obviously not
Yep.
Coronation Street. I think, is there a Bridge Street in Walford? I think there is. Um, Bridge Street. Did you get this right?
I got this wrong.
Okay. Bridge Street.
And I got this wrong because I made a very obvious blunder
Right.
in retrospect.
Read the question.
But I've got it written down. There was a famous TV pub on a Bridge Street. The street is called Bridge Street.
Okay, a famous
What
TV
is the name of
pub.
the pub?
Is the street name given for Moe's Tavern? I don't think it is. Cheers, maybe? Is it Cheers? Cheers is the most famous bar, but would you call it a pub? In the question, I don't think you would. I feel I can't think of many other English pubs in television.
So what are you going to go with? I think this is actually question 4 rather than question 2. I've remembered what question 2 was, and I was getting confused
A
by it.
famous TV pub that's on Bridge Street.
Yes. What's the name of the pub?
Cheers.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah.
It's the Queen Vic.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I was right.
It's on the corner of Bridge Street and Albert Square.
Damn
Apparently.
it! I said there's a Bridge Street. Fuck.
See, I went with the Rover's Return because because Coronation Street isn't the only fucking street in Coronation Street, is it? My logic was the same logic as it being the Queen Vic, is that there's another fucking road there, but I picked the wrong one. So I don't beat myself up too much about it.
Yeah.
But I did sort of forget that Coronation Street is named after the fact that it's on Coronation Street.
Yeah.
When I was thinking of
bit of a blunder.
But you know, it's an understandable mistake when you consider the fact that the Queen Vic isn't on fucking Albert Square.
Do you know what the Queen Vic pub's original name was in canon?
The Alfred.
No. Good. Yeah, we've talked about this before. It was originally called the Balmoral.
Ah.
But after Albert died, they changed the name in solidarity with the Queen's grief.
Fair enough.
That's such a fucking annoying thing. All right, next one then, please. These are not Independence Day related. I assumed they'd be American.
It's just, I mean, the thing is, I've just remembered the question which is Independence Day related.
Yeah.
That was the one I couldn't remember, which ended up being question 2.
Hmm.
It was Independence Day related. So, in the movie Independence Day,
Yeah.
what are they fighting for independence from? Is it A, aliens, B, robots, or C, the British?
Aliens.
Correct, Amanda.
Right, that's 2.
It was the only independence related question.
Hmm.
They tend to be somewhat topical, but also not at the same time. So, Wimbledon has started, and I'm sure we'll get onto Wimbledon at some point.
All right.
Which of these 2 courts has the higher audience capacity? Is it Centre Court or the recently refurbished Court 1?
Court 1.
Why are you saying Court 1?
Recently refurbished.
Okay, I said Court 1 for the exact same reason.
Fuck.
It's Centre Court. And because it's misleading, but he did specifically make a point about it recently. So it felt unfair for me to not say.
Well, Centre Court seems like such a big... Centre Court is like the obvious choice, but I thought recently refurbished, and you got it wrong, so I thought, you know...
Do you know how many people they can supposedly fit in Centre Court?
200.
Oh, I think I just killed a thing on one shot.
You have, yeah, I've seen it go down.
Just shy of 15,000.
Golly gee willikers.
How the fuck do they fit 15,000 people in there? I don't get it. I've seen Centre Court. It can't be that big. It can't be. I don't know what's going on.
Only if they pulverise them into like a fine mist.
You'd have to blend them. It's the same argument as how you fit 50 people in a boot. You have to blend them.
Yeah.
So
I don't
crazy,
think you
absolutely
could fit
ridiculous.
50 people in a boot if you blended them.
Not a shoe in a car boot.
All right.
I feel like you could probably do that.
Yeah, probably.
But you definitely have to blend them, and they have to be good, and you might have to rip.
The getting's good over here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is much better than it was at the start.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was question 4. Question 5. In a single verse of head, shoulders, knees, and toes,
Shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head. Yeah, go on.
how many times would one say the word toes?
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Oh, right
Head,
along.
shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, and
How the
eyes
fuck?
and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. 6.
Correct. You
Hey.
got the exact same number of questions right as me, and you
Fuck.
have the exact same questions right as me. Well done.
We are equal. Fuck.
I normally get 4 out of 5, but I mean, one of them was a 50-50. And one of them was you have to actually sort of maybe know the streets or
Yeah, I
take a
should
good
have got. Are those
guess.
ducks?
I don't know. I can't.
Oh, there are.
I'm,
There's
I'm,
mallards in there. I'm gonna
I'm
I'm gonna
quite a way
shoot a
away from you,
mallard. I
so.
hardly ever get mallards.
So yeah,
Oh no, they're
uh,
fucking off.
whilst we're loosely on the topic of EastEnders, did you
Yeah.
hear that Tracy Ann Oberman is coming back?
Yes. That
Oh, you
nasty
sound
woman.
unhappy about
Well,
this.
I don't like Tracy Ann Oberman.
Oh, okay.
No, you should know who that is. That character.
Yeah, I do.
Why do you
I'm
know?
familiar because she killed. So she went to prison for killing Dirty Dan.
She was the woman who murdered Dirty Den. Yes.
Like I remember the storyline from when it happened. I don't necessarily remember having watched it.
I also made a fucking video about it.
You can make a videos about all sorts of things. Doesn't mean I
Okay,
take them all in.
these
She
goats
got
have
converted into a.
yeah, she got converted into a Cyberman.
She did her duty, the Queen and country,
Yeah, and
by
now
killing Dirty Dan.
she's a raving pro-Israeli person.
Is she?
Hmm.
Oh, well, that's annoying.
She's very pro-Israel.
I've just spoken German to a German.
Well, good. Makes a difference from speaking German to me.
I've not done my German today, so we'll have to fit that in at some point.
That's fine. Oh, one of the goats has fallen in the water. That's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? I think I'm going the longest possible way. But I'll pick this one up. There's 2 of mine over there as well. What's he saying? What did he say?
Hang on. Can you please change the date or shortly?
Time.
Something. Yeah, time. Can you please uh
Make it earlier.
change the make? Can you make it the time 9, please? I think.
Perhaps.
But I apologise because I only speak a little German.
Well,
Ich spreche nur ein bisschen Deutsch, as I
you'll
only
have
speak
to
a little.
wait. It's not my server. Well, it is my server. I'm busy. I'm doing a bit.
Langsam.
What does that mean?
Slow. I'm practicing. But I mean, he hasn't called me out for being shit at it.
True.
I've said I come from Great Britain, I think. And
What's that mean?
sorry, there's something that's would be called a wibhail. Is there a creature called a wibhail in this weapon in this game?
Don't know.
Because if there are, he's saying that there are some.
Fuck, I reckon I've gone the
That was
wrong
English.
fucking way. I need to
We
get.
haven't got long before we'd have done an hour and a half. You know.
I
Well,
know.
so-
I just want to. Oh, you can have that if you can get it.
Where is it?
It's on the other side of the river.
I need to rest because
I know, it's annoying, isn't it? Have you got the hold your breath thing?
yeah, I got that way back. But the trouble is, I can't hold it for very long because I've been
No,
so
it only works so much if you've been running about.
I'm waiting for my heart to. Oh, I hit it!
Well done.
Well, now we've got to go get it.
Is it dead?
Oh no, but it'll die soon because I'm sure that was a good hit
Mm.
at that distance. So I'm not entirely sure where I hit it. It must be a good hit though. Like if you find it, you can claim the points on it.
I can't
Also,
be
this point.
asked. I've got to run all the fucking way around and pick up those 2 dead ones I left. All the way back there.
Oh well, that's what you get for shooting across the river.
Is there a place nearby? There is. I couldn't. There. Oh shit! It's right here. Okay. Let's fucking fast travel here, and we'll just drive down.
Well, it's all right for you. I can't. Yeah, Tracy Ann Overman's coming back. I saw an article.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that again because I'd completely forgotten about it after we started talking about it the first time. It is on my topic list.
It is or it isn't.
It is.
Oh, okay.
You know, yeah, Chrissy Watts is something of a fan favorite character.
Yes, that's what I've heard.
You know, she killed Daisy Den, and she was quite a good, you know, villainous figure in her own right. I don't like Tracy Ann Overman. I find it refreshing that the EastEnders subreddit, that view has also been expressed on there, which is, you know, reassuring. Apparently, I would imagine it's tied in with the 40th anniversary, which is coming up next year, I think.
Well, she's coming. She's going to be in August. Sorry, in the fall or in the autumn or whatever they described it as. In the
3 dead, right? Let's pick up our kills. They just stood here. They didn't do anything.
well, you know that's what happens.
Yeah. Yes, I think I've heard a rumor about a leak that there's going to be a plane crash.
Oh, great.
It's ironic because it ties in with the video I'm making right now.
Yeah, and it'll finally be out at the point that
Probably. Yeah. Which will be interesting. It'll be linked in with that. Yeah. They don't.
But again,
give
supposedly it's going to be. Oh, no organs hit.
They don't give massively long jail sentences in Soap World, do they?
Oh, it's been 19 years. 19 years to murder's not too bad.
I don't know. I feel like you go to prison for more than 19 years for killing a man. Yeah.
I mean, there was a bloke who strangled a woman to death while they were having.
Oh,
And
your
the one that I ended up on the radio on. That and he only got like 6 years, I think it was.
That's fucking appalling.
It is fucking appalling. Oh, this has died very quickly.
Oh, you must have.
It must have gone back and gone round and come back because it's like the trail goes a long way away.
I wonder if I scared it when I drove.
I got it in the left metatarsus, but it's dead.
Lovely.
Well, I just thought it would. I suppose if I got it in my leg, it probably couldn't run very fast. Yeah.
Well.
No, 19 years is plenty of time for a prison sentence, I would say.
I guess.
Like, it's more than you would really expect to get it. Depending on the brutality of a murder. Didn't she cave his head in with the doorstop?
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose that is quite brutal.
Yeah.
There is another news story that I've marked up quickly as wanting to talk about. Not as a major thing, but as a very quick. I can't believe it. This is a headline.
Go on then.
From BBC Verify.
Yeah.
Headline reads: No, UK weather is not being manipulated.
Well, that immediately makes me think it is.
The figures they reckon that there's conspiracy theories that because of how ridiculous the weather's been recently, it's being manipulated by someone for nefarious purposes. And they basically did an article saying, no, that's not what's happening. It's just the weather's being a bit weird.
It rained a good bit and it's been very glum and it was meant to be July and sunny.
I mean, we had a fairly decent day today weather-wise.
It was coldish though, wasn't it?
I wasn't out for much of it. I was in the office.
Well, it's the summer holidays now, so our workload, that's fucking dried up massively.
Well, that sucks to be you.
Au contraire, mon frère.
What?
You're wrong.
Oh, okay.
Right. That's
Are
now
we? Is that us calling it?
hour 36.
Okay, well that's
So, so yes, we've had some laughs and we talked about politics. So join us next time when we will continue not to be able to talk about politics.
yes. Bye. Peace and bag.
Bye.